If you have issues with your scalp where the doctors had to prescribe you different medicated shampoos and treatments, you definitely want to watch this video. One of the number one complaints that I see from people when they're having to use medicated shampoos, they talk about how much it dries their hair out. So I want to dive into that and help you find a solution as to what is happening and how to stop it from happening. First, get you a dark color applicator bottle like this here. You're gonna basically place your shampoo in there. I want you to apply it directly to the scalp. Lightly massage it in, not getting it on the rest of your hair, and let it sit there for 5 to 10 minutes. After that, I want you to add a touch of water, and then I want you to massage into the scalp, lathering up. Now, when I say to lather up, I still want you to focus that primarily on the scalp, not on the rest of your hair, because if you've ever used those shampoos, it can be incredibly stripping to your hydration in your hair. From there, I want you to follow up with a moisturizing shampoo. And you're going to use that on mids and ends. You can get it on the scalp area as well, but we're going to focus on mids and ends primarily because we do want to ensure we get those clean, but we don't want to dry them out with that tar-based shampoo or whatever shampoo it is they prescribed you with for your scalp area. After that, you're going to use a hydrating conditioner, okay? I want you to focus that on mids and ends. We're going to work it towards the scalp, but don't slather it directly on the scalp. A lot of times they tend to have oils and things on them, and certain scalp conditions can be irritated with more oil, things along that line. The reason why I advise people to use it this way is because I see so many people where they're just tossing it on their hair and sudsing it up, and they don't realize that the shampoo concentrated is going to make more of an impact than sudsing it up and putting it all over your hair, which is ultimately going to dry your hair out and your scalp is still going to show issues. When they're prescribing it to you, unfortunately, so many people are not advising you the way to use it so that way it's most impactful and it's not drying the mess out of your hair. They're just thinking, all right, this is for your scalp issue. Here you go. Have a nice day. If you were diagnosed with something like seborrheic dermatitis, your dermatologist also should have told you not to put greases and oils on the scalp because it tends to be exacerbated by excess oil on the scalp or overactive oil glands. So adding oil to it is only going to make it worse. Even if it looks better or feels better for the day, a day or two later it tends to get worse. That's why a lot of times you'll notice if you have scalp issues and you're putting grease and things on there, it seems like the scalp gets more itchy and more flaky the days thereafter. For my clients that have scalp issues, especially issues like seborrheic dermatitis where we cannot put oils on the scalp, but the scalp may still be irritated, we usually use something like Thayer's witch hazel. Now keep in mind, I don't use regular witch hazel. I'll use Thayer's because it does have humectants in there like aloe vera and glycerin. Basically, it helps to dry out that excess oil on the skin, but it's also helping to bring up the hydration to drying the skin out more. Now, preventing yourself from drying the skin out more is really important because usually, if you notice, even if you're using like a cheap facial cleanser or something like that, if the skin feels tight afterwards, usually later on in that day, your skin is going to look like you have been frying chicken because of the fact that you've dried it out so much, it starts overproducing oil in order to make up for it to try to keep the skin supple, soft, moisturized. It's part of the body's function. The problem is if we're ending up with an issue like seborrheic dermatitis and we're doing that, our scalp is now producing even more oil and it's going to cause even more of an issue. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to diagnose and I can't give you medical advice. However, I can tell you what has worked for me time and time again as a cosmetologist and a cosmetology instructor on my clients, my children, as well as myself. And so if you're one of those people, I really hope this video has helped you out. If you need to get diagnosed, you should definitely seek medical attention. Okay, love you, bye.